Alright, today we're going to look at solving the discriminant for the discriminant of a quadratic equation. Review. What is the formula for axis of symmetry? Well, we know that formula is x equals negative b over 2a. That's important because when we look at quadratic formula, this will be part of it. This is one of the smaller formulas for it. We're going to combine them all in the next lesson. What does the discriminant tell us? Well, the discriminant tells us how many solutions there are to a quadratic equation. Your formula for discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So basically, this tells us how many times does my graph cross my x-axis. Your formula for your discriminant is, like we said, b squared minus 4ac. If my discriminant is greater than 0, that means that it is positive. Then there are going to be 2 real roots. That means it's going to cross my x-axis twice. If my discriminant is equal to 0, then there is going to be 1 real root. If my discriminant is less than 0, that means my discriminant is a negative number. It does not matter what number it is, but it's going to be a negative. Then there exists no real roots. Alright, so in order to find our discriminant, our equation has to be in standard form. So standard form, remember, is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 or y, either one, it doesn't matter. Is this problem in standard form? Well, yeah, it is. So what's my a? A is negative 2, b is 3, c is negative 14. Right? So let's fill this in. Remember your equation, b squared minus 4ac. What's my b? Well, my b here is 3, so make sure you put it in parentheses. 3 squared minus 4. A is negative 2, and your c is negative 14. Again, make sure it goes in parentheses. If you have a calculator, you can type all of this into your calculator as you see it. If you don't have a calculator, you're going to have to do one part at a time, right? Because I have a calculator, I know that my answer is going to be negative 103. That means that my discriminant is negative 103. My discriminant is negative, so how many real roots do I have? Well, I have no roots, or 0 roots, whatever you want to put. I like no better. Right? The next one, is this in standard form? Well, yes it is. So what's my a value? My a value is 1, my b value is negative 7, and my c value is 2. Right? Plug it into your formula. We'll go negative, I don't know where that negative came from. So remember your formula is b squared minus 4ac. My b is negative 7 squared minus 4 times 1 times 2. Again, solve it part by part or type it all in your calculator at one time. If you type it all in your calculator at one time, you get an answer of 41. So my discriminant is 41. It is positive, so that means there are 2 roots, or 2 solutions, or 2 zeros, or 2 x-intercepts. Okay? Number 3, is this in standard form? Well, no, it's not in standard form. How can I get it in standard form? Start using inverse operation. I need to add 1 on both sides here, so that gives me 3x squared minus 8x plus 8 equals x squared. Is this in standard form? No, still not in standard form, so keep going. So subtract x squared on both sides. 3 minus 1 gives me 2x squared minus 8x plus 8, and that equals 0. Is this standard form? Well, yeah, now it's standard form. I have an a, b, and a c. Plug it into my equation. B squared minus 4ac. My b is negative 8 squared minus 4 times 2 times 8. And then when I solve this, I get my discriminant of 0. My discriminant is 0. That means that I have one real root, or one solution, 1, 0, 1 x-intercept, whatever word you choose to use. Okay? The next section. For the graphs of the following quadratic equations, tell me what my discriminant is, or what type of number it is. This first one, does it cross my x-axis? No. That means that my discriminant would be negative. That means that I have D is, not greater than, is less than 0. Okay? The second one, how many times does my quadratic graph cross the x-axis? Well, it crosses twice. So my discriminant is positive. That means that I have D is greater than 0. The third one, how many times does it cross? Well, it crosses just one time, and that tells me that my discriminant would be 0, or D equals 0. Okay? Remember, the discriminant is a part of that bigger formula that we'll learn in the next lesson, so please make sure that you understand and know how to use the discriminant formula. If you have any questions over this, please see your teacher. Have a great day.